Let me check one more thing. Ran into a last minute situation, but it should be solved now. My, my phone, my Instagram, was being weird. My Instagram was being weird. I have no idea what happened to it. What? What? The goblin wants to know something, but he just won't tell me what he wants. Well, that's not 100% true. He's telling me what he wants. Just have no idea what he's saying. What? Ah, what is your deal? He's being obnoxious. Being obnoxious. What do you want? What do you want? Trying to get started, buddy. Buddy, I'm trying to get started. Buddy, I'm trying to get. Boy. Anyway, speaking of which, welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac MCCanary. There was one thing I was going to check. Oh, yes. Make sure that was centered. Sometimes I turn it on and I leave it when there's nothing here, and I think it fucks with things. So, I just wanted to fix that really fast. We should be good to go now. Should have everything. Hopefully. Honestly, whatever I do today with this is the last of it that I'm going to do. So, welcome. The end of this bit. I probably will do a little bit more with it, and then I'm going to move on to something new that I definitely need to start soon because I am well overdue for it. Now, that's interesting. Why aren't you letting me change the color? On charcoal. Charcoal. And you're on white. Oh, no, that shouldn't matter either. I don't think it's the layer. No. And click. So it's not that. I don't know what's going on right now. Start the whole. That's weird. Okay. So, where we left off, we were working on this guy. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I think what I want to do for now is focus on building up tusks just a little bit. Really, I want to make sure everything is looking nice. Good. That's so weird that that's not working right now. I have no idea why that is. There's something like that. Go thicker. Go thicker. I want to do. I want to start trying to darken parts of this a little bit at a time. Because really I want to make sure what I'm doing is not adding too much, it's adding enough medium to work on top of it. A lot of it will get blended back in. It is kind of nice being able to see this with fresh eyes. It's also kind of like, where did I leave off? Remember. I vaguely remember where I left off, and I vaguely remembered what I was doing. I was working a lot with figuring out this stuff. And I do want to blend that out. Because I want to make sure that it's not like grainy. I'm not looking for something grainy, actually. Also need to up that down maybe a little bit more. Thing about Barrioth is Barrioth's head is kind of. I might need to reposition the ear. Look at Barrioth again. Barrioth. Barrioth. And I might go in and re-add a little bit more shadow in some places and see what I can do with that. Well, that's an eraser. I didn't do that. Thing is Barrioth has a much flatter face. Yeah, it's more like that. And then the ear. Yeah, I have the ear too far back, actually. I have the ear a little bit too far back. Maybe? The tough part is trying to figure out how to get that to go. I want it. Need a bigger picture. That does not help me. That also does not help me. I'm looking at a reference, or I'm looking for a reference of Barrioth, and I accidentally scrolled down a wiki page to the bottom, and it just says the worst monster, and I'm like, that doesn't help me, though. I mean, I like Barrioth. I think Barrioth is a fun enough guy. I think Barrioth is a very decent fight. A lot of fun, actually. Boy, that's so weird that that's not working right now. Should be fine, but definitely will take some getting used to. Do something like that. Could have probably done a darker. And we go over with the white. And at the very least, I just want to focus. Trying to re-add as much as I can. Because there is a decent amount here that is going to take a little bit more extra work for me. It's because I'm like not super confident. But hey, it's fine. I hope everyone is doing good. What I'm trying to do is go back and forth for now, get a better sense of how to build up the kind of like coloration. Maybe go a little bit darker on the white. Just a little bit. It's difficult with whites, I think, especially when you're working with mediums like this in specific, because it is very difficult to get a coloration that doesn't immediately mute it when really you do want it to pop out against things, but doesn't quite on its own that do that on its own. I don't necessarily want to mute out everything so much that you lose a sense of depth to anything. Like all this back here. That I don't want either. You. That's better. And hopefully this will be done so I can start the next project, because I actually need to immediately turn around and either next time, if I don't finish this today, or if I do finish this today but like take the whole time, I need to immediately start working on the next thing. And the next thing I need to work on is actually for the most recent video I worked on. Video I have finished, finally, for a lot of time. Sorry for the delay on that, by the way. But I did finally finish it. It has been a video I have been sitting on for almost 5 months now, because the start of this year was kind of a nightmare. So, and anybody out there who's like, why did you... I have a feeling that I'm going to post it, and if there's anything that anyone's going to say, they're going to be like, this is why. And I'll be like, because I couldn't get it on time. But I do have a firm belief that it is better to get it out at all than to worry about stuff like that. Alright. Right now, I'm just trying to use the blending tool, the specific kind of brush to try to make a texture I really, really like. And that is working quite well. Goal for me is to really try make sure that everything that I'm adding doesn't overpower anything anymore. And I mean, I have the benefit that, you know, I'm working with a I'm working with a fairly forgiving medium, so I can be okay with that, I think. And ideally, I want to be going a little bit back and forth on it to make sure that I get everything that I want. All the different stuff. Apparently, I've just missed a call. Nothing important. Oh no. I've been getting more kind of spammy calls again. I haven't picked up on any of them, but I have noticed. I knew that. I'm just going to darken a little bit. And now let's see if I can get this actually look like an eye. There we go. Yeah, one of the things I'm really trying to pick up on is being able to push the medium around and actually get it where I want it to be. Trying to learn how to do my swoops. Trying to learn my swoops. Says they're important. I appreciate the man's capacity to still just be just kind of a vibe, honestly. Always liked that about him. If you don't know who he is, I don't know how to help you. I don't want to lose too much definition is the thing. What we'll do is we'll go nice and fine. There we go. It's crazy how just like a little bit of white can make a difference for stuff like this. I do not understand why, but it just, put correctly, it'll make things pop where they need to, and it'll do a lot. It also kind of gives it a little bit of a frosty outline there, which is helpful. Add a little bit more white. This is that on top. And you see, for me particularly, I make a little bit more of a challenge for myself. I have a lot of planes and stuff that I have to work with, and one of the things I'm personally kind of proud of to kind of differentiate myself from the man, the myth, the legend is a lot of my work involves a lot more than just trees and mountains and stuff. Paleo art is very involved in kind of like analyzing an entire environment. Those objects, animals are a little bit sometimes. Really just trying to be mindful of certain things. One of the things that helps a lot with anything is whatever utensil you're using, regardless if you're painting, if you're working with anything, if you have a tool, one of the things that helps with any tool is kind of like learning how to have that tool do the work for you. Because oftentimes it is very tempting to like force a tool. But oftentimes a tool is designed to kind of like do the work itself. You're not supposed to force it. In fact, usually 9 times out of 10, if you're forcing a tool, you are not using it correctly. It's all right, but it definitely is a matter of learning how to prevent yourself from kind of falling into that kind of trap, because it is tempting. It is very, very tempting, because it's just like, I just got to do the thing. And actually, the thing that makes things go the fastest is when you are putting things down and like really paying attention to what you're doing rather than going as quick as you can. I personally think I make more mistakes when I'm rushing or trying to take shortcuts. So definitely want Definitely want to finish the barrioth's face. Maybe work on the arm a little bit. Screamy. Oops. Oops. There we go. Pull that down a little bit. This up a little bit. Pull it down a little bit. Being weird. Being weird. That should help a little bit. I think I need to figure out how to better make this bit pop out. It's still a little hazy. Like you can tell what's going on here, but not great. Not great. I'm gonna take. And the thing is I probably overworked this a little bit. I've added a little bit too many colors, which is fine. I just have to work with that. Mainly, I just now have to think of like planes and shadows and stuff like that. Is mainly what I have to do. That dark gray. Because there seems to be a little bit of gray between the neck. That also kind of looks like hair, so I might do a thicker one to get something on there, and then need to take down, add some overlap. Then I'm gonna take the blender, start blending it in that direction. That's how it goes. Man, I've been listening to the man a lot, so I feel like I've been picking up a little bit more on how he likes to talk about his artwork, which, I mean, he does. He likes to talk about his artwork. You can really hear it. That he genuinely enjoys more than anything else being able to, obviously do the paint and do the thing. He clearly had, I mean, a lot more than just like a talent. Like he had a deep-seated interest. Right? Really, I'm just trying to fuzz that up a little bit. Give it some texture. Just trying to keep everything in line. I want to make that a little bit darker, because I want the nose to stick out is the thing. Lighter? Maybe lighter? There we go. To go, use a darker orange. I'm gonna use a darker orange. Get inside that ear. On the back side of that. I am very glad that this is kind of where the direction that a lot of my work has gone. I feel like this is the right direction for it too, in a lot of ways. I'll always want to do like nerdy stuff anyways. But I'm glad that I'm like taking more of a both a direct inspiration and more just of a direct interest in kind of like a medium and topic and subject that I do really care about a lot, and I do want to contribute to it a lot. I want nothing more than to be stuff like this. It's very important to me, in fact. Hide out a little bit. A little bit more orange in there. That. And really, again, the main things I want to add is I want to add one more endemic life, I think. Discussing maybe the penguins. We were discussing maybe the penguins. Actually gonna go up to the mountains real fast. You can have that. The dark gray. Oh, the original gray I was using for the mountains. Maybe that? Yeah. Add a little bit more texture. I made it a little bit whited out a little bit. Add a little bit more. What I want it to do is just kind of like add a lot of that texture for me. Give a little bit more. Give a little bit more. Give a little bit. Oh, that's much better. Oh, that one? I liked that one a lot. This is why I'm like, I need to just kind of learn to let it do its thing. It's a mixture of like giving it some control, of keeping control, but not necessarily losing all of control. Adding a little bit at a time. goes that way. Ink mountain goes this way. You get a little bit more texture. That's really cool that that's working, actually. I really am glad that that is working that well. Really just taking into account kind of heeding his advice, because it still works here, right? Like, very lightly, very carefully, reintroducing a little bit more, just so that way there's a little bit more texture. I thought that the mountains don't look bad, but they definitely just feel like they're made of three colors. And that's the incredible thing that I have noticed that he's very good at being able to do is he's able to make a very good range of colors out of three colors, and that requires more than just blanketly putting those three colors. Right now, I'm trying to add as much as I can. Introduce and just kind of like give it a little bit more cragginess. That looks so much better. And whilst he's able to do things in one like go, which is like a big part of what he's really good at. That's it's I don't think he's ever trying to be like you should do it in one go for everything, especially if you're still learning. Like honestly, I am. I'm still learning things all the time. I'm sure he was learning things all the time. Don't know why I keep on acting like nobody should know who I'm talking about right now. It's Mr. Ross. It's Bob Ross. Um, you know, he always likes to talk about like if you find something that like works like really really well, keep doing that thing. You know, it's not about mimicking him exactly how to do things. It's about him guiding you to try to find your own ways to do things. And if you find something that works that's completely different than what he's doing, he encourages you to do that. It's a really cool thing, honestly. I also think he would understand being like, if something worked for him but doesn't work for you, he would be like, that's totally fair, I would think. Again, it's just about placing it and then pulling a direction and letting it kind of fill in the space itself. Which is why this still works really well for an actual digital painting thing. Go a little bit thinner. And putting a back shade, like a back highlight on things is actually a really good way to make them have more depth. That's something I learned actually in college a lot. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, beans. Ah, well, beans. I swear I switched. Um, I swear I switched layers, but oh well. Just have to do this way real fast. Merge down. That's the important part I'm learning, is that you don't want to blend everything immediately. Leave some parts unblended. Give texture. Know where to pull. That's much better. I have the advantage of the undo button, so as well use it. Yeah, that's much better. I like the way that the kind of like peaks ripple a little bit more. That gives them a little bit more texture, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more character. And again, what's important for me to remember is that I'm not just blending things at random. You don't just do things at random. Bob Ross does not just do things at random. And that's the thing. Like, it's weird to say, at least for me, anyways. I don't know if anybody else is strong. And it's okay if you have. I have. If you are drawing and drawing and drawing and feel like you just can't get the discipline of control, like that comes with time, patience with yourself, because in reality, a lot of it boils down to you being able to show restraint. You got to be able to show some restraint for yourself, I think, a lot of times, to be able to get to that point. You got to be willing to let things lie a little bit and also not push too hard against what the piece is doing and what you're doing with the piece. Yeah, something like that. I really like that because that gives the feeling of these like kind of large rock plates as they would be geologically. Though there's something weird going on with this that's like maybe some kind of very fantasy but very like certain kind of like metamorphic activity going on where somehow this plate has been thrust up and around, which doesn't make any sense in a more geophysical way. Like that's kind of nonsensical, but it's cool. I think it looks really really good. Now I want to kind of do a little bit with this too. Just want to start pulling up a little bit more. Go really really big. Don't do too much. I don't want to necessarily mute it out. Hmm. Who are being such a pill? What do you want? What you want? What you want? What you want? What? What? Careful. Careful. Just want to try. I don't want it to blend out. Not a toy. He's being a little goblin. Aren't toys. In fact, they're definitely not toys. You should not be taking them because I need you to not lose them because I them for. He's stealing the little bag rolls. Or he's boop. Those aren't for you, sir. Those aren't for you. Go on. Go on. Maybe not bigger. Maybe we do go smaller. Trying to figure out a good balance for that. Clever girl play. Clever girl play. I always love Clever Girl. It's so good, man. So good. I need to practice more trees. I need to practice more trees because I feel like I am close to getting my trees down, but they still need some work. They still need some work, I think. But they're close. I think I'm close to getting them exactly where I want them to be. It's a good place to be. Hmm. Trying to get that down. The boy is being a bit of a menace. I don't know what his deal is. He was kind of like scrungling around a bunch, and now he's downstairs screaming. Know what he wants. I never do. I mostly do. What's funny is we came in from outside, so I don't think he wants outside. Here's the thing. I need to lighten this a little bit. Then, because this is kind of more hairy, that down. Really, I want to try. So I want to keep it kind of like scaly looking there. So they need to do like a crisscross, but the hair needs to actually pull down that. Like that. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that looks actually quite good. Don't overdo it. He's right. You don't want to overdo it. You actually don't want to go fast. You want to take your time. You want to really be cognizant of what you're doing with your hands when you put a thing. Like, he's not wrong. That flaw right there. Pull off some strands. Oops. Never mind. I'm not going to do that too much. It's okay to try stuff and be like, well, that was a bad idea. I think I want to be going in the direction having. Oops. Too big. Less big. You need to start making these triangles. Because what I want to do. Off. Necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't necessarily want that thin either. We're gonna try. We're gonna try something like that, I think. What? You're being so needy today. What? What? What do you want? Trying to work. Boy, I'm never getting this finished. You're the one who keeps bugging me. You're not allowed to suddenly freak out when you're like, oh no, strange creature. I think I have some ideas. The hard part about this for me, figuring out exactly how to place these spikes. They won't look out of place, I guess. I think I just have to build them out one at a time like this. Just start by throwing them in there. One at a time. Put there. A bit darker on that side. Then something like that, maybe? Like that, maybe? There we go. Something like that, maybe. Funny thing is I think we go in with this. And I just need to start counter shading it a little bit. Means I need to add this, but not like crazy, crazy, actually. Like that, maybe? This is why you gotta just sometimes really carefully add certain kinds of things. Think about where the shadow's gonna go. And this kind of stuff is really difficult, I find. This is like some of the hardest parts of painting and drawing in general, is trying to figure out how everything kind of works together. There we go. Really, I want that to push that way. Kind of like that. Barrioth is genuinely a challenge, I feel like, for me. Very. They got some weird shapes. Their teeth are weird. Be difficult. Try adding a bit of highlight in places. Means I need to go thin now. That's the thing, I gotta remember. Is like he even when he does his like lakes and stuff, he goes back in and he adds fine highlights on certain things. Is how you're supposed to do. Right there. line on this side. Trying to add the texture, how the teeth work. Go a little bit thicker. A little bit more. Want this to be a plane. Like that. God damn it. I erased right through his chin. That chin is kind of hard to see, though. I might have to redesign that chin. It is very difficult to see. I mean, as long as it looks like barrioth, I've done it right. Honestly. Like, I also have to remember, as long as it's barrioth, it's barrioth. You know? Did I make the thing I wanted to make? Yes. Can you tell that it's barrioth? Yes. That's what's most important. Can you tell there are popos there? Can you see Jindahat? Like, are the things in the piece where they need to be? Try to just a little bit more texture there. Then go back, add a little bit more color. Pull down on that. Because Barioth has a good mixture of like scales and actual fur, which is what makes his shape kind of interesting, in my opinion. Also, a little bit more knobbliness. Boy, creature has a couple of different planes to work on. And I'm kind of seeing them a little bit at a time. It is the tough part of this, I think, that I am struggling with a little bit, is trying to get all of those planes in there correct. He's made he's made out of a lot of tiny planes. Hmm. What would Ross do? What would the Berber do? It is the hard part, is figuring out some of this stuff, since a lot of it is trying to think about how those scutes and like how those plates actually like align a little bit. Like It is difficult. This is why study is also important whenever you're doing stuff like this. You always got to be studying. Darker. Try it darker there. Just need focus on pulling it the directions I need. Like right there. I can see it. It's like almost there. A little bit too big, I think. Need a dark. And the idea that I'm trying to build kind of sense of that like platiness. Means this needs to be wider. Yes. Go like that. I mean, that's something. That's closer to what I actually want, actually. Curve that down that way. Maybe go back behind, add a little bit more color and everything, so. What? Don't make it so difficult. What do you want? What does he want? What? What do you want? What do you want? Trying to finish. We just need to get in there and get in there. You know how it goes. I do really enjoy doing eyes, so we're gonna use this dark. very carefully, doing as much to build that up, and then want to parts of it, give it a little bit more depth. That's much better. I'm gonna try using this blue a little bit. A little bit thicker. The anti-highlights. I don't know what I would call those. They're like highlights, but opposite. I don't know what I would call those. Hey, it's only 4:13. Making good time. We are making good time, I feel like. I think if I don't end up adding any more into the life or anything, at least gonna make sure this barrioth is done. What? What do you want? What? Oh. What? What? He just is being very, very needy. I don't know what he's wanting. Add a little bit here and there. Right now, I'm just trying to add a little bit of texture to everything. Kind of like what I did with the mountain. Kind of like what I did with the mountain. Feel good. Getting noxious. I'm thinking need to focus on trying to use a lot of this texture to build out a lot of the other things about the piece. So hopefully. And not get frustrated with it. I will admit that. I feel like I've gone back and forth here a little bit and kind of struggled a little bit. Trying to figure out how to get this to do exactly what I want it to. Without muddying everything. One of the hard parts. Come on, barrioth. do the thing I wanted to do. Hmm. Still don't know what I'm missing. And I think that's bugging me. Like, I feel like I'm right on the cusp of figuring out a lot of parts of this, and I just can't quite get it exactly where I want it. I'm close, though. And I can't tell if I need more color, less color, darker, lighter. I'm actually kind of stuck with that, too. I'm trying not to go overboard is the thing. Maybe? Maybe? That's something. This is something, at least. I like this. Voice seems to have calmed down. It's kind of becoming a bit of a having a bit of a tantrum there for a second. I don't know what his deal was. Yeah, go maybe lighter gray. Actually, a white. I need a white. White? Something like that. On top. And a little bit here. Just gotta let it be. Just gotta let it do its thing. There we go. That's much better. That looks also really, really good. I think that looks really good. Why? What? Being rowdy. I don't even know why he's being so rowdy. Doo-doo. Something like that. Just have to focus on building that up. Use a darker gray. Just gotta focus on building that plan. Little bit at a time. This is where my illustration piece kind of works itself in because I can't help it. Have a background in illustration. I'm gonna do what I know works, even if I want to do it different. It's always kind of okay to try something that you don't know, and then you need to try it and try it and try it and it doesn't work, it's always okay to go to something you do know. There. Something like that, maybe. Just trying to reintroduce a little bit more definition. It going up. This also helps reintroduce some. Have to remember some of the things that Mr. Ross does work well for trees, but they don't really work well for animals. Kind of have to be a little bit more gung ho with them. Gotta add a little bit more. But that's okay. I think this definitely is looking much, much better now. Yeah, like that. It does at least look like barrioth. Again, that's I think the most important thing is like you can tell that it's supposed to be the animal, which is very, very good. Could be worse. You could not tell that this is supposed to be barrioth, I guess. Add a couple lines. Just help to give that a little bit more definition, that there's a little bit of fur there. Got a little bit of texture. Texturing there. Texturing there. And again, a lot of the work that I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to let it do the work. Let the lines, let the things I add kind of do most of the addition. So that way it doesn't overpower anything. Need to check. I actually don't know. I know the fronts are serrated. I don't know if the backs of his teeth are serrated is the thing. I really don't. Not off the top of my head. And just some lines. He is. He's losing it. Losing it. Okay. You're okay. And a back shadow. And a back shadow. Just a little bit there. There. That gives it a little bit better definition. I just need to add my lines. I can help it. Every now and then I gotta add my line. Gotta add my line. There we go. Something like that. Kind of thinking how fur works. like back shading patches of fur, maybe. Back. Kind of like that, and then take the blender. Then you take the blender. Just need to soften it a little bit. Just so that way it gets the idea across, not erasing anything. Don't want to get rid of that line. Want to make sure that that line is. There we go. This is looking quite better too. I think this is coming out much better. There, something like that. White out that way. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah, that nails it actually. That's the look I was going for because I want to like look like the hair is kind of overlaying it a little bit. And now, I'm gonna go back in either a light gray or a white. Just need to just ever so slightly. Add just a little bit, just to counter shade it, just to counter highlight it. You need counter shades and counter highlights. You have to parry the paint. No, you're not supposed to see this. This is not important for you. This is what happens when I forget to open my shit. I swore I opened that actually. I like looked and I was like, huh, that's not open. Weird. A little bit tedious from my end, but it's just the way that I know how to be able to add a little bit more texture and a little bit more everything else. So that way all works. That? No, I don't want to necessarily lose definition. I don't want to necessarily lose definition because the whole thing is that it needs to look like strands. This needs to look like one solid plate, so it can be blended a little bit more. But this needs to look like strands. Cannot do it that aggressively. If anything, I need to go smaller. Gotta get in there, get in there. Maybe not quite that small. Not quite that small, but the idea still stands. Well, it just turns out that I might just get this barrioth done and that's it. And I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I want this to be complete. No matter what. Mattered to me most was making sure that this barrioth came through very well. Difficult. This barrioth was really hard. Like I want it to be. It's for being such a small part of the piece, it's like kind of the subject. He's got the most detail. Draw from that a little bit. Again, I want the light wrapping around a little bit. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Oh boy, hydrate man. Oh boy, hydrate man. Thank you, hydrate man. I appreciate you. I thank you. I thank you, hydrate man. I appreciate you. Welcome, Silos. I hope it looks good. I hope this looks good. I think it's coming along quite nicely, actually. Now, we're doing this way a little bit. Reintroduce the white. Be able to show that it's an arm, so thank you. I kind of fixed the mountains a little bit. I think the mountains look better. The only thing that I'm not super satisfied with is probably the hardest part, which is the trees. I haven't quite. I'm still kind of struggling with them a little bit. They might be kind of a lost cause, but everything else is looking actually really, really good. I will say the barrioth did take a couple of passes, but I am probably least satisfied with the trees just because if I was to self-criticize, I think the trees are the part that I struggled with the most and did not nail. I did okay with the trees. I did okay with the trees. The trees could be better. They're not quite what I was going for, but that's okay. Everything else, though, I think is looking quite nice and good. I've got a nice bit. Oh, hey, there. I'm gonna do that real fast. You see how that is? Line here. The line. Go a little bit thicker. A little bit of media at a time. Might have been too much. Funny. Yeah, I didn't want that much. I wanted just enough. Add. Just pull it down. Try pulling it down. I mean, this is a lot of gray, so. That's close. That's closer to what I want. Give it a little bit more depth. Give it a little bit more depth. Thing here. A little bit more depth. Add a little bit. There we go. But how are you, Silos? Working on trying to use a third gray right now to add like a second or a third dimension down here, so that way there's a little bit more variance, just a little bit more, maybe a little bit darker. Try a little bit darker gray. Don't want it to be so much that it overworks everything necessarily. I saw your renders. They are quite good. Hope you're enjoying making them. I'm a little behind on that, as you know. I feel like I was trying to get a little bit into the Blender render game, but I kind of fell off with that because for a while there, it seemed like doing anything artistic was a little bit trying, unfortunately. You know, it was a time. It was a time. Thank you. Doing my best. Fighting AI as best as I can. Which, I mean, the irony of coming to the conclusion that, yeah, I just need to draw the ending bit myself. I'm glad we came to that. I'm glad that that's what it ended up settling on, because it's more fun for me. I feel like it breaks even on like being not just me trying to flex, and it oftentimes still results in a little chaotic mess. And it's it's me, and not AI. I did find the perfect picture to advertise for today somehow. I somehow found it just is the symbol for Switch Axe from Monster Hunter, and it just says, I believe it just says, we have to kill AI. I don't I don't even remember where I found it. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Exactly what I have to use for my drawing streams. Wild. I don't even remember where I found it. Other than something new that that Instagram is doing on my phone, it keeps on signing myself out. I don't know why. It's being really weird right now. Not that it's that much of a big deal, because Instagram. I don't care about Instagram. Yeah, we have to kill AI artists, and it's just the symbol for Switch Axe, and I'm like, okay. I don't know how I inadvertently found the perfect ad for the next drawing stream I do, but we go off. Go off, royalty. We should start saying that, especially if you don't know if you don't know king or queen. Just say go off, royalty. Though that might not go over well, because right now royalty is not super popular. Let's be honest. Nobody's really a big fan of anyone who compares themselves to royalty right now. That might not go. That might not actually shake out so hot. Royalty's not super popular right now. There might be reasons for that. I don't have to get into it. This is not the place for that. Just know that I understand that royalty's not super popular right now, and I'm okay with that. Hey, we're all royalty in that respect, though. We are all royalty in that respect. Yes, I agree with that. Royalty itself, though, is not really popular right now. For good reason. A little bit bigger. That. Add a little bit more. And we just budget One of the important things to remember is adding just a little bit at a time anyways. And a lot of this is kind of going back to my formative, like, I figured out something that I was doing wrong, is for me, I was not sculpting a lot when I was drawing. I was really, really young. When I had it kind of like explained to me that like it should feel like sculpting, something clicked. I don't know what, and I don't know why, but it like clicked more. That my art should be more like sculpting and not just like trying to stencil something. But it's different for everyone. Apparently, like my younger brother had like a different aha moment when it came to that, because like he wasn't he sculpting, like the idea of having to sculpt his work didn't really help him, which is fair. That's fine. Everybody has like a different aha for stuff like that, I think. For me, calling it like sculpting though helped a lot. Apparently he, like, I work a lot from the wrist, I guess. He works a lot from the elbow, and he had to figure out that dexterity for himself, and apparently that was different for him. Like, it's all a little bit different for everyone. Do something like that. Kind of blend it a little bit at a time. Blending tools have always been one of my favorite tools. I don't know why. Digital and physical blending tools are something that I've always really resonated a lot with. I think that blending techniques do a lot to help you kind of like work in the nuance into a piece, I think. Not to say that, it's the only thing to do. There's is all sorts. Is all sorts, of course. It's all sorts, of course. Yeah. And the control is really, really nice. Being able to undo is really, really nice. Insane. Being able to undo is really, really, really good. Hell, hi, Hydrate Bot. Hello there, Hydrate Bot. Oh, it's only. I was like, man, I only got 15 minutes left. No, I actually have almost an hour left. I was like, I'm gonna run out of time. No. We have plenty of time, actually. Turns out, guys, we have a ton of time. Making very, very good progress. It is magic a little bit too, and I'm not gonna say jealous, because actually it's inspiring is what it should be, is how quick Ross can do his work. Like, the fact that Bob can do all of that in usually no more than 30 minutes is pretty astounding. Though I know he kind of hints every now and then that he's like, I wished they gave me more time, but I'm Bob Ross, and I'm not allowed to swear. But I wouldn't. But also, he's not allowed to. Bob Ross is one of those kinds of individuals. I think I would be like, if I could have a conversation with them, I don't know what I would talk about necessarily. I would just want to talk to them. I think just being able to be like, I would, if I was to ask, if I was to ask any person what their favorite dinosaur was, I would ask Bob Ross. Probably, and he chose to stop doing that. I respect that. I really do. The man, like many people, led a life. something like that. Kind of have to just let these spines be the way they are. They're a little bit awkward. There's not much I can do about them, though. 40. But that looks quite good, actually. And then I need to kind of give that on here. These are a lot darker. Them toes is a lot darker. And I mean, like I said, it's less of jealousy and more of inspiration because, like, if I'm on a really, really good day, I probably can get a piece banged out in, like, a single setting. And he does his work in 30 minutes. He does his work a lot of times in 30 minutes. And I have the power of digital art now. Like, the man was incredibly talented, but also incredibly disciplined. Like, he knew how to get his stuff done. He knew how to visualize. He knew how to work really, really, really efficiently. So, it's just about getting to that point. And I've had days, like this one took 3 sessions, unfortunately, but I've had days where I knocked my entire thing out in one sitting. So I definitely know I can get to that point. I totally see the capacity to be able to get there. So, uh-huh. That also would help a lot too. And I'm trying to work more drawing into my outside hours. For example, guys, I at least did more work to fix things, so, but I might have to do some redrawing on the animation because, oopsie, I might or might not have forgotten to apparently hit save, and I didn't realize it, which happens. I'm not fucked up about that. The one caveat, it's digital. You have moments like that, and you have to press your hands into your forehead and go bleh, bleh. Just have to be like, "Oopsie, I can't really undo that." Bleh. Have to take the L. You go again. Does happen to the best of us. It is embarrassing though. It's like, God damn it. That was so much work. Just kind of follow these. Just try to. I've noticed that like it helps to kind of like isolate a plane and then work on that plane for a little bit, and that's something that helps a lot, like a lot. Something. Smush it down. What are we but a bunch of polygons? It's really all. That's all everything is just a bunch of polygons. We're just a bunch of plain surfaces. That barrioth looks really, really good though now. Like that looks perfect. I would say that's like absolutely what I needed to be doing. Now we need to take this dark one. I ever so lightly. Just take a little bit of fuzz. Goal is to hopefully use Blender. Need to not worry about that so much. We're focus on this, and then I go over these. In fact, I need thinner. 15 seems to be a good diameter. And even on top of that, I mean, like, again, not to. It is not gloating. It is not gloating for me to say this. I have noticed that I have gotten much faster in the last 2 years than I've ever gotten at drawing in my life. I feel like I was way worse, right? I feel like it would take me 5 to 6 sessions just to get halfway through a piece. Like I feel like my work has gotten faster, like without question. There is no question on that. Like I've gotten faster, which is very, very good. Need liner. Do even bigger. A little bit. I definitely feel like it shows. It definitely feels like it shows. I've gotten much, much more proficient. And proficiency is difficult. Like that is one of the big difficult things to figure out is proficiency, I think. Try something. A little bit. Pull in the snow. Get a little bit of a snowdrift effect. Kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. And then I need. Oops. Thin. I need to go thin. 15. Go light gray. And I mean, at some point, I wouldn't mind getting like a little bit more invested in Blender again. I mean, I really enjoyed doing the Blender stuff and Blender modeling. I feel like there's an element of Blender that really I do actually connect with quite a bit. And I do really enjoy doing modeling. Modeling really, really clicks with me inside my brain. So It can, anyways. The other one. Not bad. That looks good. I think that's good. I honestly, I could probably adjust the ears or something, but I'm just like, they're there. They are there. I don't know if there's much more I can do to them. That would make sense. Uh-oh, he's back. He's back. It's so needy today. What's up? I'm trying to figure out exactly. Trying to use the lighter. Want to use this lighter kind of white pink to add more highlights to the orangish parts. Trying to do to give it a little bit more depth. At least I finally figured out how I was really struggling with those back plates. Like, I'm not even gonna say they're right. I'm just gonna say they're good. And sometimes it's what you gotta do, especially if you're recreating something. You just gotta be like, is it good? Is it right? And I go with is good because sometimes you can't do right, so you might as well just do good. Something like that. Darker. Try to add just a little bit more darker gray to it. That it's more like a a, a chin, more like a chin spike. This would be more like a cheek spike. Oh, too harsh. Some go that and fill that in, just like a little bit like that. I'm glad I got this gray in here though. This came out really, really good. Once again, the most important things to remember is that I still got to this point. And even in some ways, you could argue the way that the man does draw, he wouldn't do something like this. I'm doing a little bit more detail oriented stuff. Never really went into detail like that. He kind of just was very good at slapping something on, but with like a living thing like this, it's really hard to kind of get away with doing that. You can't really do that as much. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna go a little bit more of the darker one. Use some of this kind of dark blue a little bit to add more of the light a little bit, just to give it a little bit more depth in some places, maybe more around the eye. Trying to add it specifically to add like just a little bit of a blue high, a little bit of a blue shade, just a little. I like that I'm like, I wanted to do painting, and then I kind of did more of a. This is more like this would be more considered closely related to like colored pencil is what I did. Is I did something actually much more akin to a colored pencil, kind of like painting is still pretty difficult. Colored pencil I'm much more familiar with, I'm much more comfortable with, which fair enough. Like I said, sometimes you try something, and if it isn't working, do what you know. Always be willing to do what you know. It's okay to try something, and then if you're like, I need something that works, do what you know works. Always do what you know works. The brushes I'm kind of using don't really do kind of like a fan brush anyways, and that's really what I need here is I need a fan brush, but I don't really have the patience or the time to like start digging into the brushes to be like, okay, I need a brush that's going to do more of a fan brush thing. I need it to just be thin pieces of stuff anyways. So I'm like, you know what, that's good enough. So I do think it's doing a good job of being like a fur. Like it's pulling off the effect well enough, actually, I think. And ooh, just want to pull off, pulling off. Oh, just enough to start pulling off a shadow. That as a shadow, I need to start adding shadows to other things. Shadows need to go here. Same thing here, just let it do its thing. Because really I just need to let it do add like just a little bit more depth. Certain things. Not to be a lot. And really the only thing that Bob Ross does different is he's just faster at it. He's not doing anything different than this. Just much more experienced, as you said. A little bit there. I feel like that effect came out really, really good. I really like how like the snowdrifts work. They look really good. Let's do something. Let's do something. We're gonna add rock. We're gonna add some rocks. And rock. Go down to a finer one. Start pulling out kind of the edges on some of these. Kind of like that. A little bit up. First. This is just to get the rock there. Down. Want it. Still be covered in snow. I like that. Then go back. Gonna add just some counter. Just a little counter shading. Just add a little rock. I don't know. I just wanted a rock there. Bob has trees. I got rocks. We got something to do. Dark. Where's my... I had a dark gray. Where did that... Oh, here it is. I'm gonna kind of do something like that. Then... start pulling this down. That way it looks like a snow-covered rock. A little bit. Add just some stuff like that. What do you think? That feels like a rock. That feels like a rock. This is kind of one of those cases though that I'm like, I'm gonna put one, now I'm gonna put at least a couple more. I put at least just cutting in there a little bit. Now, back to cut into it a little bit to so that it terminates at the snow a little bit. Kind of like that. Also on top, I might do oops. Oops! That though. I'm gonna do something like this. So that the rocks are there. Oh boy. Something like that. Then go through. Get a white. Want it a little bit more white on top. Just ever smallest bits. Outer shade. Kind of treat it like it's Tiny Mountains. Kind of is Tiny Mountains. It is a little bit like Tiny Mountains. I need to cut in. A little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of like that. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Helps give it a little bit more texture and a little bit more flavor there, too. Helps the ground break up the ground a little bit. Gotcha, Silos. Be here a little bit longer. We need to finish. Barrioth, I kind of noticed. So I was like, in doing that though, and in working on the rock, I noticed that Barrioth needed a little bit of work. Actually, he needs a little bit more love. That's better. Really, the barrioth, this area, it's more work. Go that, and then we're gonna go darker bottom. Maybe a little bit of counter shade there. I need something dark. That so there's some rocks that helps break that up. I might do a couple rocks on the opposite end. Like maybe do here, as you would say, gotta be a little brave. What? Mainly, I just want to figure out where a little rock. What you doing? What you doing? Go on. Go on. Not on the right layer. We'll redo that. But that looks quite good. Merge it down. Already got the right idea, actually. Drag a little bit off of it. Do here. Little bit. A little bit more of these grays. Gotta need to use your rock gray for your rocks. There we go. Kind of like that. It gives it a little bit more of a, and the blue helps give it a little bit more like, I don't know, a little bit more of a crystal-y effect to it. Maybe it's got a little bit of trying to think. Can't think of a blue rock right now. Can't think of a dark blue rock right now. I should know a dark blue rock, and I can't think of one right now. Whoopsie. Oopsie. Think of one. Layers that way. All rocks form in layers. Oh no! Work. this. Here's what we're gonna do. Do something like that. Do something like that. Yeah, just like a little bit more. Gotta go with the flow of it a little bit. Working too much. Looking too much into it. Just let it be. Always gotta remember, you just sometimes gotta let it be. Yeah, that's better. What's funny is I did that effect, and now I'm like, I don't remember how I got these snowdrifts on here so good, actually. Long enough, I don't remember. Add a couple of twigs. Yeah, a couple twigs. Give it a little bit more depth. This is something I've picked up on is like add stuff. Just be willing to add stuff sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta add stuff. And what's funny is sometimes the best thing to do is kind of like when you add something, kind of just follow it and let whatever it did kind of like, juice out itself. At a time. Soften it. Soften it. That adds a little bit more detail too, which is good. Kind of needed it. I still don't know how I got some of that out. Like, I don't know how I got that like shading out there. That shade out. That. Oops. That shade. It works. Honestly, that just might be it. If for nothing else, because we don't want to work on it anymore. Ah! Sometimes you just get to that point. You're like, I'm happy with this. This is a piece of illustrated work of something. I finished something. Oh my god. I definitely feel like I'm done with this one. Ooh. Once again, a big thank you to Mr. Ross for all of the good vibes and ideas he's been giving me recently. So, always, always. I would not added little rocks and trees and everywhere, and even added my own version of friends, which are just giant killing one of which is just a predator, but you know, everybody has different friends. Everybody got different kind of friends. But no, I'm really glad I worked on this. I think it came out good. I feel like it came out pretty good. Probably gonna be the best stopping point we're gonna have. It's good for me. I can end a little bit early. I'm kind of thinking. I'm again on the fence, being like, do I readjust the schedule one more time? I might readjust the schedule one more time. The thought process I had was I was like, maybe Tuesdays. Maybe Tuesdays I make a full free day. We'll see. I might make Tuesdays a full free day and then move this drawing stream to maybe Friday. I don't know. This is the tough part. It's everything's a bit mumbled jumbled a little bit. We'll see. I kind of like having my Friday more open. And besides, as I've kind of said, I usually want, at least for now, around 2 to 3 hours. I want at least 2.5 to 3 hours to be able to work on art. At the moment, it's what I kind of need to be able to feel like I'm making good progress on anything. As kind of shown here, I was pretty close to finishing this one, and if I would have had like bigger sessions, I probably would have gotten it done in 2. So that said, I know what I'm going to be doing next for the next. Well, I know what I need to be doing next for the next piece. I guess I should put it that way. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do for it. I've had ideas, I have inspirations for it, but I know what I need to do next because I need it soon. Because I have everything's done for a video. I just need to do the thumbnail. So, but hey, this came out great. I'm glad I could work on it. I think it came out wonderful, honestly. Gonna be doing more of these, I think. Gonna be doing more paintings as time goes on. I think this painting came out really, really, really well. And I definitely want to be like do an illustration, do a painting, do an illustration, do a painting, do a paleo thing, do a, blah, 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 blah. Switch subject to subject. It'll always be like one or another thing. So, I'm going to call it here. Before we go, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to open something, and it's probably going to appear I should do this before the stream from now on. Oh, it didn't appear where I thought it was going to. So here's the good news. It appeared where I didn't think it was going to, but it's not necessarily in the place that I want it to be. Boy, is this one going to have to be by mouse? I'm thinking when to do this. I know when to do this. So, we're going to generate an image. I'm going to generate an image with you guys before the end of the stream. If you want to participate, all you got to do is type in chat. Whatever chat says, we'll use as a reference. We'll share the image before we raid out. So yeah, just stick around. Yeah, if you want to participate, all you got to do is type in chat. Whatever chat says, we'll use as a reference. Then I'll share it before we raid out. I was like, I've like had to slightly rewire how I do this bit because it's different enough that I need to think about it, and I was like, I said it right, I think. I said what I wanted to say, I think. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna make it prompt. So barrioth in his bush. Barrioth in his bush. And if you want to add to that, you can. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds if you want to add to that. But I think that would be that'd be a good prompt. I think that'd be a pretty good prompt. Oh, I gotta open one more thing though. Ooh. Oh, god damn it. Forget the difference between an alarm and a timer. It's just every time I'm like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Yeah, I know how I'm gonna do this. So yeah, if you want to see that image, stick around to the very end. I'll draw it here in a minute. When I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to draw the picture when we hit the raid part, so that way I still do the thing correctly. So we'll do it then. So stick around to the very end. I also do a bit of a closing bit. We do raid after every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. No, actually, no, the daywalkers in our chat keep watching. Just everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows. It's almost dinner time for daywalkers. And thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following, or clicking any of the links below. There's links to all of the socials and the Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to, and just generally come hang out with the rest of the community there. A good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience, and we appreciate you, and you're a wonderful audience. We appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag with MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. And if you want to see your stream grow, if you want to see your stream grow, if you want to see this stream grow, if you want to see your stream grow, talk about your stream. If you want to see this stream grow, talk about this stream. I appreciate that the people have been talking about the stream, and I encourage you guys to do it more. It does help us out. It's just super rad that you guys are willing to do that. So go tell people about the stream. Go tell your friends about the stream. I will not. And as always, a huge thank you to all of our supporters for Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects, and the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple of the benefits you get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page here. It'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. And thank you, Drew Mods, for doing a wonderful job holding back the robot army and preventing becoming famous. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time drawing. Made good progress, I feel like. We'll get you through housekeeping to get you on the way. Got the rest of our friends in Goblin Entertainment. That link tree has links to everyone's channels and everything that they've done and they've been up to, and the rest of my stuff here, which has everything that I post to. So you should go check everybody out in Goblin Entertainment. Stick around. Oh, I hadn't. Oh, shit. We'll go to someone. We'll go to someone. Was just talking about her recently. Let's go say hi to Tria. Go say hi to Tria. Tria's streaming right now. She is playing Repo. I guess there was an I don't know if it's happened yet, but I think Repo had something happen recently. So she's doing Repo. So we'll go say hi to her. She's a good gal. Before we go, one more thing. I gotta do something. Just gotta. Perfect. He's just in there. He's just right in there. Oh, shit. I can't undo. I accidentally hit the undo button. Can't touch the keyboard. I can't undo. Shit. Nope. Nope. That's it. All right. So stick around to the very end. Thank you for joining, everybody. Stick around for that raid. Boy's done. 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 So everybody go say hi to Tria. She's a good gal. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. And remember, the only way to get faster is something. Is to practice, I guess. We're about to finish. Look at my I did it. It's artwork. That's the wrong one.
It looks very petal, very friend shaped.
I just like that I got his teeth poking out the bush because I can't imagine anything